Alright, guess we're going. Telemetry wanted to not function. So here's what it is. Turn that down. Sneeze. Hello everyone. Just setting everything up. Right, looks like everything's ready to go on my end. We got a new lobby. Okay, never mind. I guess I don't even have... Let's see if I can get this telemetry shit started. Looks like we're not getting good telemetry to go this time. Right, leave the lobby because things need to be updated there, so... How's everyone doing? Good day so far for me. Looks like we need an entire new lobby though, so waiting on people and waiting on invites. Seems like we're having a bit of a trouble. Going to be having a delayed start here. But in the process, how's everyone doing today? What's everyone's predictions that this and well, are we going to get as much chaos as we did last week? Guess they're all pretty valid questions, to be honest with you. Ah! I just punched my own PS5. Ow. I'm actually gonna sort this out. Don't need the wheel on. Make sure my phone's charged enough. Give you guys you see, I did debate doing something for it. I did definitely debated doing something, but maybe next week. Probably will more likely be next week. They put a tribute or something on this. I wasn't even ready myself until 5 to, so didn't really have much chance to set anything up. But yeah, well, we're still waiting on the lobby coming up. Just sing the anthem because if you don't request an interview and sing it, to inevitably win the race. You know what? Okay then. If you win the race, I'll let you do it. If you win the race, I'll let you do it. That's something I would love to see. You are on a mission. On a mission to be a tenth slower than Mitchell in time trial, and on a mission to what? Kill him? I doubt it. Still waiting. Strategy masterclass. Don't you have to get to a pit stop to be able to do a strategy masterclass? I don't think I've seen you get to a pit stop so far this season. Well, considering someone else is restarting, I'm now going to take a drink. Not he's gonna. You made my English go horrible with the fact that that was incredibly hard to read. Mitchell crashing? Never. I mean, the guy doesn't bottle anywhere near as much as me, to be completely fair. Still waiting. It's just doing sweat dirty. I saw that in chat. That's bad. You get the F1 music in the background while we wait. Because we are still waiting. Let's have a look at that one properly. Your comment cut off halfway through. Didn't even realize I left my YouTube in something. Right then. I was just saying, as soon as there's no God save the Queen on everyone. That's it's slightly a fair comment, but don't think that's what that had any. The former had anything to do with the latter. I'm going to watch a bit of football while we wait. Maybe I might actually do something in the process of waiting for this to get started. It's going to be a later night than normal. So who we got here then? Mitchell, obviously, Mitchell's currently your championship leader. BR4 second. The 3-point split the two of them. Which is actually rather interesting. We're still waiting. Just said Queen Charles on air. Oh no. Oh, that's a massive blunder. That's a massive blunder, that one. What's this? The rules need to be more strict, agreed. We should be starting at 8. Has nothing to Something big happened and he messed it up. So to Boris. So what Boris was then? Hey, we started. I'm going to get the title of the standings that we currently have. When it comes to constructors, so constructors is 2 points with your two main antagonists in the championship, and the actual drivers is split for 3 at the moment. So, are we going to get something between the two at the top? Or someone like Bambino possibly going to throw in their hat? Oh, okay, so it's a rain qualifying. I don't have my telemetry with me this time because apparently I had put on after 8, which I thought I did a little bit earlier, but each to their own. Yep, it's raining here. Dry race. I mean, I think some people would rather have that, have it that way round than the alternative. Who's out? Who's come out to the pit lane then? Yeah, it's also the debut of Mildy here, and it's full wet qualifying. Like that died the downpour. We've got a few people here that we see the big hitters. So you've got Bambino. Mieszko's got a qualifying ban. That's why he's retired straight away. As for big hitters, you've got Mitchell in the Ferrari, currently staying 3rd. BR4 in the Alfa Romeo, 6th. Bambino 3rd in the championship so far. Constructors, you've got both the Red Bulls you can throw into the mix as well. So we've got a lot to keep an eye out as we head into the first race for the second half of the season. I'm officially on round 7 of 12. As per usual, the first person out and then doing we watch their out lap and then their flying lap in its entirety unless they invalidate. But that means that the spotlight's on Mildy for his first lap in Tier 1. Here we go. His first lap in Tier 1 and he gets all the eyes on him. Down the straight he comes. He goes up to 7th, up to 8th gear by the time we hit the end of the straight before he hits turn 1. Brakes all the way down to 2nd gear. He might want to short shift up before hitting the throttle. He does exactly that up to 4th, but he does a little bit of a slide out of turn 1. And I think his lap is going to be, probably severely hindered by that. Yellow flag's currently sitting in the first sector, and Alfa Romeo just parking themselves in the wall there by the looks of it. I'm not entirely sure which one that was. Take a look in a minute. I shall take a look now at Heidenberg. Rigo's out. He slid off the curb in the beginning of sector 3, so that's the end of his qualifying. Mildy coming through the second sector now, through the chicane up to the windy part of the track, the more technical part of the track. Yellow flags basically everywhere. And let's see if Mildy can keep his car going. Yellow's out. He's on the start finish straight. Damn, that's got to be a bad crash for him to be out there. That's 3 down already. Mieszko was one enforced by the rules, but the other 2 out already by their own doing. So, Jesus. People not having the greatest of times here in the wet. Oh, that's Yellows. He got to the outside and slid in. Mildy did a 31.5. Let's see where the next Mercedes is. That should be invalid. That should well and truly be invalid. But I guess things happen. Don't know how Zap is actually valid here, but he's going to continue on. And goes around the final corner now. Is he going to be the next one to go? Looks like he had a little bit of a slide through the final corner there, but not enough. 32, 33, 1, 2 seconds off, or 1.5 seconds off the pace, sorry. McLaren going over the line. Paulie Orange, 31, 1, 1, 2, 4 attempts clear. Alu not doing particularly well himself. Let's have a look. Sven going around the final corner. 30.1, 30.2, 32, sorry, 32.5, enough for third at the moment. Over the line comes the Red Bull. 31.9 is enough for third at the moment. Not particularly convincing. Haas over the line now. Bambino 31.6 enough for third. Ake Bolito over the line is a 32.2. Mitchell did a 31.5 as he came through the final corner. It's still 4 tenths off anything Paulie Orange did in his first run. Over the line, Bloodway 32.3 is only enough for 9th. Heisenberg, well, he crashed on his outlap, so I assume, I would assume he's still going to go for, oh no, he's still going. I'm rather surprised. I thought his things would have definitely been out of shape of that crash, but he's going to do a time. It's enough for 5th, a 31.8, so it's not the worst, which means everyone has done their first lap, so I don't know if people have gone for a second flying lap. It's entirely possible in the rain. It's not necessary to pit straight away. But we will watch BR4. He's currently second in both championships. And he's going to see if he can do a better time now. Paulie Orange at the McLaren, 30.7 over the line. The Ferrari in the background as well. I think he only did 39.5 though. Not particularly impressive. There's Heisenberg gone again. Not particularly enjoying his time through turn 4. Here comes BR4. He goes through the same corner his teammates had problems with so far in qualifying. Keeps it going. Up the end of sector 1, it's purple, 31.3, sorry. Mitchell, 30.6. And well, the big guns are pulling out the heavy hitters to start with. And the guy that's on top of the entire championship right now, currently on provisional pole at this current point as well. Looking to extend to BR4 here, who goes through the second sector, might get impacted by this Mercedes if he is going slow enough. Into the end of the second sector now goes BR4. The Mercedes is going to have to get out of the way, which he promptly does. He goes through the end of the second sector. I'm not entirely sure BR4's on track for pole now, but 2 more corners left to go. He goes through the second to last and then up through the final corner. We've seen a few people slide here today, and it could very easily end your qualifying, that's for sure. It's a 30.787 for BR4, so only third on the board at the moment. So look, Sven over the line. What time is he going to do this time? 30.653 is enough for second. It's a good lap. It's a good lap. Bambino is down. Ishmael down as well. Not particularly impressive. Jaguar is currently up on his time. Not enough for a position or anything, but he's enough up on his time nonetheless. I think there's a Ferrari that's just gone over. Mitchell doing another lap, and I think he's followed by Ake Bolito, which he is, up to 4th. He goes to 30.743, identical to the Paulie Orange. And Jaguar 31.2 is enough to beat Ishmael at the very least. Mark not able to do an awful lot. Heisenberg slower on the lap so far. A few of the bottom 3 all in the pits. Not entirely sure what's happening here with Heisenberg as he comes through the final corner. Haas has binned it there. I think it's Bambino. I think he's either binned it or just let people through. Not entirely sure, but either way it didn't look particularly great. Millsy on the lap now. Well, he's in the pits as well, so it looks like a second. It's whether or not that's a visual glitch or not. Purple picked up in the second. It looks like Ishmael might be looking for a better lap here. Goes down the final corner now. And then to the line. And the time is going to be a 30.3. And that is good enough for provisional pole. By about a quarter of a second as well. Mitchell over the line. 30.343. Enough to just ever so slightly beat him. Ake going slower, not really able to pose a lot of a threat here. Here comes Bambino to set up a lap. He's about to go flying now. We'll actually watch Bambino's lap. Currently third in the championship. Has to get a move on in the second half of the season to pose a threat. Currently 21 points back. I think it's 21. Oh, it's in the 20s, sorry. But I think it's a race win back. So a lot for him to actually do here if he wants to get himself back into this fight. BL4 also needs to get a few tenths of a second off his time, otherwise the guy in front might be one that definitely take advantage later on. Oh, Bambino's on the grass. He's on the grass, too wide, way too wide. What about what's happening to Mark here? But I assume Ishmael's coming into the pits now. BL4 are now out on an outlap. Is Ishmael coming into the pits? He is. Probably would expect a Ferrari to join him as well. Here comes Mark as he comes through the third sector now. Let's see if he can pick up his time. He's got to find a second and a bit. At the moment, doesn't seem to be able to find it, but he's definitely got time to find at the very least. Comes down to the straight now. 30.6, enough for fourth. There's the second that I was talking about. Bambino's lap was obviously done quite early on by the whole going into the grass in the beginning of the second sector. Didn't really help his cords out whatsoever. But he's now got time. He now needs to find about 7 or 8 tenths of a second realistically to pose a threat to the guys in front. Still got people going on there. Let's have a look what Alu's doing. 39.5 at the moment. Currently nearly 6 seconds clear. Would bring his time to within to inside of 33 until he went on the grass there. And well, whatever time he was doing has not particularly gone too well there. Bloodwave not able to do an awful lot by the looks of it. Never mind, the purple at the moment. I was the wrong Alpine over the line. Like it was Swen. It looks like one of the Ferraris have gone back out. Alu's still out there, of course. He's got to do another lap. It's a 31.9 there for Alu, but he went on the grass, so you'd think he's got time to gain there. See what Bloodwave does here in the second sector, down to a 1:04.6, just over a second up. It's only enough to move him up ahead of Millsy at the moment, so he's got to find some pace here. Goes around the second to last, a little bit wide. It goes again a little bit wide through the final corner. Tried to bring his car back in. Along the curve now, 30.6, 31 flat. It's only enough for 9th. Got people going at it at the moment. There's a McLaren going over the line. Jaguar about to do his lap. Actually, you know what? Well, let's follow Jaguar's lap. Let's follow Jaguar's lap as he goes through turn 1. He goes in second gear. Probably don't want to go full throttle down in second gear, especially in the wet. It's not the greatest idea in the world. You go through turn 3, sorry, and then turn 4 here. And Jaguar seems to be good at the moment, nearly a quarter of a second up. It's not actually enough. Well, it actually is enough to move him up 2 places. Bambino and Bloodwave both out doing laps the last I knew. Going through the chicane now, probably should get a little bit tighter on the first one, get better exit in the second one, but Now down into the end of the second sector. The windy part of the course is probably the most annoying part, and there's grass again. People seemingly like the grass out on the outside of that corner, and now he's down on the lap. Red Bull doing an out lap, so Red Bull's about to start his lap. We might go and have a look at that in a minute. Someone's coming to the pits. I think that's Bloodwave. Continue watching Jaguar's lap for what, the last corner or a bit. Polly Orange looking to do another one as well. He's doing an out lap at the moment. And Jaguar was just short, about 2 tenths. Ishmael up again. Or is he up again going through that sector? He is. It's 2 tenths. It's valid still as well. So it's definitely a good shot here for the Red Bull if he can capitalize on it. Oh! Until then, and then he slides out of the corner up the hill, and well, there's a 30.2 for Mitchell, and I don't think Ishmael's going to do a lot of reacting in this lap. Yep, and that's the lap. Certainly. Oh, there's no front wing on that Alfa Romeo. The Alfa Romeo's having a bit of a problem. That DRS sign's just been broke. I read that Williams is hanging himself on this edge of turn 1 as well. That's a incident that has happened there. I'm not entirely sure what caused it, but it has happened nonetheless. See, Jaguar, is Jaguar on a lap? Will is though. Well, yeah, Ishmael that invalidated. His lap was also 2 tenths slower, so let's have a look at what Polly Orange is doing. Well, Polly Orange not actually quicker at the moment. A little bit down from his first couple of sectors. He's got to find some time. He's about a half second away. Yellow flag in sector 2. Not entirely, I think that's just someone waiting actually, letting people by. Here we go down to the line. Paulie Orange is actually slower than his lap beforehand. Let's have a look at Sven as he comes around the final corner. A bit too deep possibly there. Loops it round and loops it almost into a wall as well. Just about saved it. His lap was well and truly slower. Mitchell's lap was invalid. What about the Mercedes on the track at the moment? 31-1, enough for 10th, and well, if he was on a mission at the start of this, he might want to rethink this mission at this point. It's Heidenberg going over now. Half a second up. He finished the lap 31.220, identical to Jaguar. I assume he did his ever so slightly quicker, maybe an extra 0 quicker. Still a few people going around. Sven 30.5, enough for 5th. I think Ishmael just did a lot. No, it's Mark. Ishmael coming across the line now. Not able to do anything about it. We've got 23 seconds left, so realistically, this is last shot for a few people here. Realistically, last shot for everyone up to those McLarens. So, let's have a look at where people are. Sven. Is Dalva McLaren getting to the line? Sven's qualifying done. Paulie Orange round the final corner is not getting to the line, but he is quicker at the moment, I think. Down the line he goes, and it's provisional pole by 4 tenths of a second. And now we need a fight back. Mitchell is going slower. Through the first 2 sectors, BR4 not able to beat Mitchell, so that title is hotting up. There's a couple of people bidding it in the second sector, sorry. Round the final corner we go. Sven only did a 30.5. Mitchell is quicker, but not quick enough. What about Ishmael? He's currently not going quicker at all. And it might, that's deep. That's deep. I think that might be it. Certainly it for Ishmael's attempt. Ake not able to do anything. What about Bambino over the line? 4 tenths quicker at the moment. It's only enough. Actually, it's enough for 30. Comes over 3 quarters of a second quicker. Mark over the line is quicker at the moment, but not enough to move him anywhere. Jaguar's going, Bloodwave's going, Alu over the line now, maybe improving. 30.9 is enough for 12th. Bloodwave is done. Ishmael done. So we are... That's it. That's it for qualifying. So it's Paulie Orange. And Ishmael's just spinning there in the pit lane. We got that one. Certainly an interesting way of doing things. What am I watching? But yeah, well, it's Paulie Orange on pole here. Mitchell second, Bambino third. So 1 and 3 in the championship sits second and third on the grid. Second in the championship currently sits in 5th. The 2 Red Bulls also fighting for the constructors as both up there as well. So we might have a very interesting race in front of us. Waiting for a couple of people to go into their pits properly so we can move on to the race. Well, the very wet quali ends up in a sea of orange. He did it by 0.3 of a second as well. It's a pretty convincing final lap there. Don't think Mitchell too worried though. Currently sitting second, and well, you would take this at the end of the day, that's for sure. Mitchell second, what is this? Yeah, no, Mitchell's putting a run together at the moment. Paulie Orange had one hell of a lap. BR4's got to get through those Red Bulls. Oh, a Red Bull in particular. Starts on the same road as the other one. Swen, one of his highest starts at, well, in tier 1 so far, that's for sure. If not his actual highest start from qualifying. You didn't crash, it was raining, yeah, but what happened to this mission, Well, what happened to the mission? You're starting like 10th. Here we go. Someone saying they were a spectator there. You could have actually trust the process. You're going to need a lot of... as someone whose literal NBA team has said trust the process for the last God knows how long, I have given up trusting processes. You're gonna have to prove some. You're gonna have to prove some results here, mate. Got a long way to go from way back there. Especially when you've got to think that the championship rivals are also there and thereabouts. Huh? I don't. There you go. What the hell? For Ishmael clearly doesn't believe those medians work. See if that one works out for him later. The mediums they only lasted 6 laps before they ended up dying, and the hards are quicker. So I would be very surprised if those softs don't work as well as Ishmael wants them to, but those medium tyres for the front 3, BR4 on the mediums as well. Mark starts on the hard, so he's going complete alternate strategy to his teammate here. Swen, Ake, Adam, all on the mediums as well. On the hard, so 2 on the hards, 1 on the softs. Outside of inside the top 10. Heidenberg got disqualified for hitting someone. You've got Jaguar, Alu, and Bloodwave behind them, all on the medium tyres. Heidelberg's hard tyres been disqualified from quali, so cold hard tyres is going to be one he doesn't want to be on. Mieszko on the medium, Yarlo on the medium, Rigo on the hard, and Biskane on the medium tyres. So Back round to the grid we go. Let's see. Heidelberg already on there. So we see what on earth is happening with Red Bull over there. He's seemingly having a hard time keeping it straight. And well, Alu jumped his grid spot. Mieszko jumped his. I think this Mercedes is coming up. The Mercedes, the AlphaTauri, the two that's going to be showing us here. Here we go. 4, 5 red lights. And his lights out. Away we go here. Who's going to get a better start? If I could get a good camera angle offset start, it looks like that Haas is flying. That Haas is flying. We go into turn 1. Mitchell's start was pretty abysmal to say the least. Ishmael up to 3rd. There's a Haas going down the inside of turn 1. He cut the inside at the very least to try and get himself in the lead going into turn 3. And he's going to get alongside that McLaren. There's yellow flags down the grid. Alu and Bloodweight by the looks of it. Bisconnect got a little bit of a hit. And he's dropped all the way down. Ake Bolito down to 10. Right behind his championship rival. Paulie Orange maintains his grip on the lead of the race though. He had at the start and he's got it now on the end of lap 1, or heading toward the end of lap 1 anyway. We've got a Red Bull on that soft tyre, takes advantage, jumps 1 place. His yellow flag in sector 2. Mieszko, what's happening? Mieszko there. It's had a bit of a hash of that through the second sector. Everyone's still right on the back of each other. Well, look, we get a good camera angle of everyone right on the back of each other going through the second to last. Bisconnect and Heidelberg going at it. You can actually watch this. Between all 3 of them, Yellow, Heidenberg and Bisconnect going through the main straight. It looks like that Haas is going to be able to overtake him here down the inside. He has done just that. Yellow gets a good move there. He had a couple of movements in the midfield as well. I think Sven got Ake. I think Mildy got Mark as well. Hard tyres not proving too well just yet. But if what Mitchell did say earlier was true, we should see them start to fall off in a few laps' time. Yellow flag in sector 2, Mercedes. And it's Rigo that's off the track. It is second to last. Mieszko currently in last. Yellow flag as well. Alu's had a problem through that chicane by the looks of it. Bit of a problem there for the Ferrari, and well, Paulie Orange already out of that DRS range. Well, it's flickering in and out of that DRS range for when that gets enabled on the next lap. Moment for the championship. We're going to have the straight here, the straight line speed of that Alpine versus a setup on the hard tyres for that Red Bull. It's brought him alongside at the very least. They're going to go too wide into turn 3 here, actually. Yellow flag in sector 3 goes to Mieszko again. Here we go to the inside of turn 4. It's going to be Bloodweight, though. It's a nice move. Nice overtake there from Bloodweight. He's got it nice and simple. Mark still hanging in behind him. Not really able to do an awful lot at the moment, though. Yellow flag in sector 1 from Mieszko again, and well, his race has gone from bad to worse. And there you go. Well, we had to trust the process, and unless that process is the front wing coming off that front of the Mercedes, it's the end of that. Ishmael still within DRS range of Bambino, who is definitely not the same position on Paulie Orange. Right this time, Bisconnect had a bit of a nightmare there on the second to last, and dropped a few positions to allow Yalo to jump up to 12th. Started toward the back, but taking advantage of people in front of him, just not keeping the car on the track. The DRS here for the Red Bull going to drag him in closer to that Haas in front. Erminator gets 5 seconds speeded into the pit lane, which, well, that just shows how that process was not worth trusting. As we go through turn 4 now, too wide between Sven and Ake. These two going tooth and nail at each other. The inside line for the Aston Martin now, though. He's forced the Alpine a little bit wide. The yellow flag out. Mieszko has now retired from the session. That might be safety car. So at the very least, a virtual safety car. We've got all the sectors. Sven got 5 seconds for corner cutting and gaining a place. So he didn't give that position back to Ake through the uphill corner and paid the price for it. Mieszko's out the session, so we're down 1 already. Terminator not really able to do an awful lot. VSC not going to allow him to catch up either. When that goes, DRS will be back, and when DRS comes back, you're going to have a straight shootout between Bambino and Ishmael. That's for sure. Everyone else is outside that DRS range. Sven keeping himself in and out of it, but that delta is not doing him any favors. Few people are actually in that DRS range for when that does come back. When we have the virtual safety car go in, and yeah, there we go. DRS enabled. The virtual safety car's gone in, and let's see who's gonna have a go at each other. Jack, because we had a 20-minute delay for the actual session starting, because of certain things. Well, I had a bit of a delay myself, and then Disconnect had a thing. We had to restart a lobby, etc., etc. But here we go. 1 lap 5 heading into lap 6, and 7/10 of a second splits the Red Bull and the Haas at the moment. The McLaren up front, 1.5 seconds at the moment, and hasn't really had much of a problem either. BR4 now within the DRS range of that Red Bull in front. It was for a split second anyway. Mitchell trying his best to close in as well. He's being hunted down by Mildy behind him. And don't forget that BR4 and Mitchell are currently on number 1 and number 2 in the championship. Bambino, I think, about a race back. But at the moment, going to gain a decent chunk of points. Maybe bring him back within a race advantage. But we'll see as we go toward the end of this race. 35 laps down Hungary, and we're only on lap 6. Mildy is closing in on that Ferrari red of Mitchell. And Alfa Romeo not really being able to put a dent into that Red Bull at the moment. Still 1.2 seconds has been for a couple of laps now. Mark's closed in on the back of Bloodways when also being attacked from behind by Ake Bolito. Most likely when we go into the DRS range. We'll wait and see. We're going to get DRS here for the Red Bull. Yellow flag in sector 2 is a Mercedes again. And this time it's again, and is just not having a good day. And for someone who said he's going to win this race, he's not having a nice time. If we're never trusting the process again, because if we're trusting that process, then, well, I don't even have words for it at this point. And BR4 still sticking to about 1.2 seconds behind the back of that Red Bull. Oh, something happened here. They come down through turn 4. The Aston Martin binned it in turn 4. And he absolutely has. That the Aston Martin's dropped to second to last behind him, in front of him now. Actually going to have go to a close battle at the moment. DRS not really playing much of a factor at the moment. He's got a few people actually within it now. Behind that Red Bull. Who are just slightly dropping off the back of Bambino, and that Red Bull's coming in. That Red Bull's coming to pit. You can only got 6 laps on those soft tyres, so we'll see what the strategy is from here, I guess. Assume it involves a hard tyre. And it does involve a hard tyre. Onto the hard tyre goes Ishmael. I think he's going to come out just behind the Mercedes of Italiano. You got Mark and Bloodwave going at it here. And it looked like Bloodwave's had a nightmare. Because he's now right behind him, well, closely followed by his own teammate. Sven just behind him and... Oh, Bloodwave again! Way too deep! Into the corner and his teammate's going to go on through this time. Jaguar now had the opportunity to close in behind, but he's being closed in by Yolo and Heidelberg and Alu. That train starts to form. Mark 4.5 seconds behind Milty, and he's got a long way to go at this point. Mitchell managed to hold Milty himself out of DRS himself, but BR4 not able to do the same thing. And it could be the case that DRS is here for the championship battle between these two. 3 seconds worth of track limit penalties for Bisconnect there in 13th at the moment. Here we go, DRS. It's not there for BR4, but it is there for Mitchell. They go into turn 1 and the Ferrari is not close enough. You get a second help of DRS, but this DRS doesn't really do an awful lot down this one. So BR4 is going to hold that third position at the moment, and he's got to start making a move on Bambino soon enough. Yalo and Jaguar going into turn 1 together, 2 wide. And then down in through turn 2 and into turn 3, and I think Yalo got that move done. He has got that move done, and he's, well, left Jaguar to be attacked by the Alfa Romeo behind him. And also the Ferrari of Alu tagging on the back of this as well. And few things going on in the midfield in particular. The front of the race not particularly interesting at the moment. Bambino not able to hold to the back of Paulie Orange. BR4 just sliding off the back of Bambino as well and losing time left, right and centre. It's not really going on, not much is really changing at the front. In the midfield, everything seemingly is, though. And there's the fastest lap for Paulie Orange here on lap 10, so I guess the 6th lap for the medium tyre is not particularly true by an awful lot. Another glitch this game costs it. Yeah, that's usually the case. It looks like Heidenberg spun off the final corner. He has spun off the final corner and dropped to the back now. It looks like Erms had a problem as well. Caught that right on the cameras there. Was having his problem through that chicane. And right now is very close to being lapped. Paulie Orange less than half a sector away now. Still got people closing in. The two Alpines, the closest on the grid at the moment. And they're right on the back of Mark, that Red Bull. Not really able to get away at the moment. Yellow flag is another Mercedes. This time it's Rigo, and the Mercedes day just goes from bad to worse to somehow even worse. On lap 10, and they both had multiple spins. Yeah, through Sven lost the DRS there on Mark. He's just about got it back. Maybe he does in fact get it back for the main straight, but we'll wait and see. Paulie Orange just setting fastest lap after fastest lap at the moment. And Bloodwave is going to get DRS. Sven is not. And, well, here we go. Let's see if Bloodwave can make anything of this. Two teammates could go fighting into turn 1 here. He looks to the inside, sees that he's way too far back and decides not to make a move on it. Oh, and also gets a little bit of a slide out of turn 1, and any shot he might have had with the second help in a DRS is well and truly dead now. Mitchell gets 3 seconds worth of penalties for track limits there, and well, as he was fighting with BR4, it's not going to be much of a fight anymore. Only 4 people within DRS range. Alu on Jaguar, the train we've got running here, and well, a couple of people have dropped out since I said it, with Mitchell and BR4 as well. No one seemingly able to do anything in the overtaking front at the moment. And yeah, it's still going on. Still a few people closing in. And honestly, not an awful lot's happening at the moment. Bloodwave did get a penalty. I'm not entirely sure what for. I would assume it's track limits with the 3 seconds. Yellow flag in sector 2 and 3 is an Alfa Romeo. So that's Heidelberg. That is, he slid off the curb. They're at the beginning of sector 3. I'm not entirely sure the extent of his damage. It looks like the car is relatively fine at the moment, so he's not going to have an awful lot done. Swen is still trying to catch the back of Marks. He's been within a second for God knows how long now. On lap 12 of 35. Alu Palu currently the closest person on the entire grid. We'll go on have a look at that now actually. They come up the hill, up toward the chicane. Alu had a little bit of a look to the inside, decided not to. And they're going to go through the end of the second sector now, and you see Bisconnect not that far off the back of these two. The more these two fight, the better there is for that AlphaTauri just behind, maybe DRS range soon enough. But at the moment, you've got Alu 4/10 of a second behind Jaguar, and Mitchell 8/10 of a second behind BR4, but they're going down toward the end. Oh, and Alu had a little bit of a slide out of the final second to last. And any sort of chance he might have had to get him into turn 1 here might have just been dashed. He's going to get DRS still anyway. It's half a second. Gets 3 seconds for track limits. And yeah, he doesn't get him in, Alu doesn't get him into turn 1. The slide just cost him because he would have been alongside. I'm almost certain of that. DRS is not going to help him down here. It's not strong enough. Mitchell has closed in that gap rapidly to BR4. They come up the hill now within half a second. It was 8/10 of a second the last time we saw it. Now 6/10. It looks like BR4's 50-50 wings is getting the better of Mitchell in this second sector. So the longer that goes, then we might have a cat and mouse kind of game going on between these two. But it is number 1 versus number 2 playing for 3rd and 4th at the moment. Bambino still going after Paulie Orange, but is very much in no man's land there in second. He's not going to complain, closing the gap on the guys directly behind him. Mitchell with DRS doesn't get anywhere near and close enough there into turn 1. There's a second helping of DRS. It's not going to bring him anywhere near close enough to get to him by turn 3. So it's just going to be one of those where Mitchell has to sit patiently. What happened? Hello, Lazar. Alu 3/10 of a second. Bisconnect tucked himself on the back of this trio as well. Looked like Ismail looking to tag himself onto the back of it as well. I mean, he'd rather he didn't have to tag himself onto the back of this, because the fresh clean air is probably good news for him rather than bad news. Allowed him to set laps, and he'd rather these guys pit before he gets a chance to be in a fight, costing time. But maybe that happens later on. Maybe he's going to hit DRS now. He is now within DRS. Mitchell still closing into BR4. Maybe something happens here. He's just 7/10, and then as we've seen, that's usually too much. Going into turn 1, and you realistically got to be within 3 or 4 tenths for it to work. And Mitchell's going to have to sit behind BR4 for yet another lap, and while BR4's teammate there getting a time penalty. Well, that's one less person for Ishmael to worry about. Alu goes into the pits to make his pit stop onto the hard tyre now. No safety cars at the moment, which is a rarity. Yellow flag in sector 3, and as soon as I say that, Heidelberg's out, and Is it a safety car? It looks like that car is parked right to the edge of that track. And somehow have survived not getting himself lapped at the moment. Nope, it's not even a yellow flag. They managed to clear that car out the way quick enough, so I almost thought that was going to be the ultimate commentator's curse there. It wasn't. We still got a bunch of fights going on. Ishmael has tagged himself onto the back of that fight now, so he's losing time to the guys right at the front. Yellow flag in sector 3. Bambino spun it! Bambino spun it! I'm not entirely sure how he's managed to do it there at the edge of the pit lane. Didn't hit a wall, but he's... Well, there goes Mildy in for his pit. There goes Swen in for his pit. BR4 versus Mitchell. Mitchell's going to go the long way round. They're going to go too wide. But it looks like BR4 is going to hold on for the slight bit longer. He is. Up to second place with Bambino's absolute mess of it. On the final corner, he spun into the final corner. And well, Bambino didn't really have much of a threat. He was on his own there in second for quite a long time. Made a mistake, maybe got a little bit complacent. And pays the price of the result. And as it stands, the championship lead is just going to get ever bigger. And now Paulie Orange has an 8-second gap at the front of the race. Mitchell closing in. We've got a few battles going on. Ake Bolito got passed by Ishmael, I think, and Jaguar is most likely about to suffer the same fate. That Red Bull seems to be quick on those hard tyres behind. He almost has a little bit of a slide there. He's not going to be able to get to the inside of the third to last, and he's going to have to wait. BR4 16 lap old mediums decides that's enough of those and goes into the pit now, so maybe the Ferrari wants to cover the undercut on the next lap. We'll wait and see. The Alfa Romeo has gone in first, so he's made the big call to start with. The Red Bull closing in. There's the Alfa Romeo there actually, and that's not good news for Ishmael as BR4 comes out in front of him. He's still going to warm up those cold tyres though, and Ishmael's going to take advantage of him having to do that. Down the long way he goes. Maybe with the inside of the following corner. He's going to have the inside of the following corner. Almost contact there between BR4, and there is contact between BR4 and Ishmael. And it's resulted with Ishmael being spun out. Oh, that's huge. Oh, that's huge. It cost BR4 time. Ishmael was flying, and it's definitely cost him time. The yellow flag coming out in the second sector. Oh, that is huge. BR4 and Ishmael come together again for the second week running. Ishmael's gone again and dropped all the way to second and last. And what was going so well for him is probably just going to end in disarray now. Jaguar comes into his pit stop. Bambino comes in for his pit stop as well. Mitchell and Bloodway stay out, which is an interesting call, seeing that Mitchell didn't decide to come in and cover the undercut. Yellow flag in sector 2. Erm's out. Well, we're down another one. There's 3. There's the yellow flag. There's the yellow car coming out the pits as well. So it's the first safety car of the day. And, well, Erm's just saying he's not fixing the game, not playing the game until fix the sound glitch. Well, good luck with that, mate. Good luck with that. Well, Paulie Orange is coming in, and I think Mitchell will be as well. BR4 came in a couple of laps ago. Bambino came in as well. They're going to lose. They're going to be a big losers here. Well, besides Ishmael, who had quite the big loss when he come together with BR4, and I'm pretty sure that will go to Stewart later on. And well, here comes people into the pit. I assume we're going one by one, apart from the people who pitted a few laps ago. So all the people who, well, essentially waited for their pit stop are going to benefit massively here. Mark going to come out on the medium tyres. He's going to come out in 5th place because Bambino's going to go on through. So Paulie Orange won his lap, his 8-second gap eviscerated by Terminator's crash in the safety car. Might have an interesting fight for the lead now. Mitchell second, BR third, Bambino 4th. It's going in pretty much the same direction of the championship between those three at the moment. Huge call just happened. There's huge calls still to happen later on. Please, would you record the lap time for the eval? You want to make something for Europe, for YouTube? If the game doesn't break on me, I'll do it. Good luck, because the game has a race director bug as well, or I did the last time I knew, and I'm not. You can have them at the end of the race, because I'm not chancing it now. I have had it where if I went into the race director, it does not let you out, and it will kill the race from commentators' from viewers' point. I won't be able to commentate on anything because I won't be able to see anything. Yeah, there's a few people that's not going to be particularly happy with the turn of events so far. Turn of events, you got Ishmael getting in a collision with BR4, certainly will be looked at. And it's few people, well, BR4 himself got screwed by the safety car coming out, allowed for Mitchell and Paulie Orange to make their stops and still come out 1 and 2. Bambino's probably was saved a little bit by that safety car, but his spin on the final corner is what ended up being his undoing at the moment anyway. Well, that grid has changed quite a lot from the start, so Paulie Orange still on top. Mitchell still second from where we started. BR4 moving up, Bambino moving up. He had a great start. Mark in 5th, Bloodblaze 6th, Milty 7th. Probably screwed a little bit by that safety car coming out, drops a few positions as a result. Yarlo in 8th, who started way at the back, so Yarlo's having a nice day. He's slowly moving up the rank. Swen in 9th, who, whether or not the overtake penalty earlier was BS or not, still served it, so clearly Kesden doesn't. Quite unfortunate. He's dropped to 9th, Balu 10th, Ake Bolito 11th. Not having the strongest race of his career. Bisconnect 12th, Jaguar 13th, Rigo 14th after multiple spins, Ishmael 15th after, well, after being flying, but the collision between him and BR4, which would have put him in 3rd or 4th off everyone's pits, sees him sitting in 15th. Still got to go around probably one more lap under the safety car, let Ishmael catch up. Should be going near the end of this lap though. Don't see why it wouldn't be. Wait, is that Merc span? Merck might have gone there. Oh no. Yeah, Merck did go, but I'm not sure he went enough to drop behind the Red Bull. He managed to hold this position regardless. He just about got away with it. He's caught right back up. So that's everyone caught back up to the safety car, apart from that AlphaTauri that apparently decided that safety cars are not a nice thing to do. But here we go, safety car in this lap. We're on lap 21. We will be going racing on lap 22. Lap 25 will be the first instance of DRS seen since the restart. But here we go. Let's see when Paulie Orange is going to take us home. Are you going on this corner, or are you going to go wait right to the line? One of the two. It looks like he's gone now. He has gone now. The cold tyres might be one that he's going to take advantage of there. He's got an 8/10 of a second gap already on Mitchell, who didn't get the best of restarts, and BR4 looks to take advantage of that on the spot, but doesn't really get to Alu and Ake going at it as they go through turn 1 too wide, and down into the third corner now, and the Aston Martin down the inside. A little bit deep there, but he's going to have the position right regardless. So Ake moves up to 10th and right on the back of Sven. And we've still got penalties galore at the moment. 3 seconds there for Bisconet, 3 seconds for Mark as well. You've still got 3-second penalties for Bloodwave and Mitchell from beforehand, so they've got to get a gap. They've got to get a gap soon. At the moment, Mitchell not within a second of Paulie Orange, who seems to be flying at the moment. Paulie Orange just holding himself where he needs to be at the front of the race, trying to get himself outside that second, trying to get himself away from any sort of DRS attack. Mitchell's got to do the same with BR4. It looks like one's been more successful than the other at the moment. Paulie Orange with the fastest lap of the race as a whole. BR4 with the slipstream going to close that in. It looked like he was going to close that in, but then it opened up to 8/10 of a second. Mitchell straight line speed a little bit too much for the slipstream. But when you go through the corners, BR4's 50-50 wings are going to possibly bring him back into this. You got Bambino right on the back of him, and Bambino is no slouch. Definitely had the ability to make something work at some point. Never mind, he's out. That could not have been more of a commentator's curse if I tried. And well, we're going for another safety car. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was incredibly well timed by Bambino to die as soon as I was saying that he could have done something. Well, any sort of chance he had now, that gap's going to increase, so I think it might be over for Bambino. It could entirely be two-horse race going at the end of the day. That is incredibly well timed. Safety car will probably go in, what, maybe lap 25, beginning of lap 26. While we're in a safety car, I'm also going to do something because this got if I can find it. We shouldn't be going in this lap, I don't think. It would be nice. The more racing the better, obviously. we going in this lap? No, we're not. Right, should be one more. Well, this guy's gone into the pits, so he's going to decide to go on to probably softs, maybe? Looks like Ishmael's going to try the exact same thing. So, 2 on the gamble. See whether or not it's a good idea later on. But we go one more lap. Irrespective of anything else. 14 left. 4 gone. 4 with penalties. And a lot of work to do for those that do have penalties. It looks like BR4 might be one step up at the moment. He's got to... Well, between him and Mitchell, he's got to challenge Paulie Orange at some point. Well, should be going in this lap. Yep, we are going in this lap. Well, here we go. You see how Paulie Orange led the last one in. Went on the final corner, caught Mitchell out for 0.8 of a second. Is he going to be able to do the same thing again? He looks to go, he goes on the final corner again. Mitchell looks to have got a little bit of a gap on BR4. It doesn't look like Paulie Orange has got... Actually, never mind, Mitchell hasn't got that gap on BR4. That's closed down really quickly. There's no one seemingly able to do anything into turn 1 there. Go on and restart again. A few people fighting. Rigo and Ishmael going at it. Ishmael flying on those softs now. Is he gotta make them last though? He's gotta go around the long way there. Oh, there goes McLaren! Jaguar into the wall! And into last. Not great news for him. Disconnect also 22nd off the back of everyone else off the start. 0.4 of a second now split Mitchell and BR4. Mitchell done a better job of holding himself within that DRS than he did the first time round. About 0.9 of a second, was already 1.2 by this point in the last restart. Paulie Orange maybe not able to exert as much dominance as he was before, but he's won once here. Chance he could win again. 0.9 of a second. 9.5 of a second to go around the final corner now, and Mitchell's got to start banking on that straight line speed. He's also got to bank on it to get away from BR4, which he has done at the moment. Ishmael now well close to everyone around him. He's going to go down the inside of Hero Valu, and he's going to make it work, as you would expect with the tyre difference, and that Red Bull's up into the points. Next is Ake Bolito on his hit list, who in himself has his eyes set on Swen, currently sat in 8th place. Mildy already outside the DRS range on Bloodwave, who currently sits in 5th. So those two have their own friendly rivalry going on. And no one really out of it yet, apart from the two at the back. Everyone now still really close-knit. There we go. It's BR4's outside of the DRS range. Yellow flag sector 2 and 3. It's Alu. That's Alu. Yep, Rigo gets 3 seconds worth of penalties for track limits, but that's Alu that's crashed. In the final sector as well, just couldn't hold it for long enough. Ake and Ishmael here going through the final corner. Those two are going basically too wide. And down into the first corner, the late break on that Red Bull is going to get in that position. And up to 9th he goes. He's still got a long way to go to try and catch that catch Sven in front of him now. 1.2 seconds off the restart. It's not the smallest of gaps. Mildy also outside DRS. Mitchell outside of DRS. BR4 outside of DRS as well. Mitchell got to clean up a 3-second gap between him and BR4, which at the moment doesn't seem to be happening. He will clear up the 3-second gap between him and Mildy though, so he probably still sit himself on the podium. They're going to go through the final sector now, almost identical. Oh, Bloodway's gone! Bloodway's gone down on the same corner. We've seen many people go. Just saw Alu do on the lap prior. It's too much. I can only assume it's too much on the outside curb and maybe a little bit too much of a correction to try and sort it out, but it's enough for a drop him to 11th. And Sven's going to be under attack here as well. Paulie Orange gets another fastest lap. And it's all immediately taken by Ishmael, who's going to fly down the straight, maybe have something to say with Sven at the end of the straight. Not at the end of this straight anyway. He's not going to be close enough with the DRS because Sven also has DRS on the guy in front. Yalo currently sat in 6th. He's going to be a beneficiary of penalties as well. And well, he's trying to close his gap on Milty here, who's lost to 1.8 seconds now on Mark, who's got to clear himself 3 seconds because he got 3 seconds worth of track limits as well. So Mark trying to fight himself with trying to fight BR4 at the moment, who's losing a small amount of time a lap to Mitchell ahead of him, who isn't really doing an awful lot to Paulie Orange either. And honestly, Paulie Orange hasn't had any sort of challenge today whatsoever. Or at least to this point. We're on lap 29, headed into lap 30. They go around the final corner now. Mark still closing in on BR4, and seemingly that last corner went in the way of that Red Bull, but maybe just too far away at the moment. Yeah, he is just too far away to make something work at the moment. A couple of people have to pit there. Bloodwave's out. I think Alu pit as well. Maybe Alu on the same way. Ishmael's right on the back of Sven now. You see Ishmael looking for it. But Sven's going to hold him for a slight bit longer. Maybe with a space on the switchback available there for the Red Bull. Just didn't work. The Red Bull's going to have to sit behind him for a tad bit longer. And well, we're still fighting here for the second sector. Yarlow's right on the back of Mildy now, and that has got really close. 1.9 seconds now will sit between BR4 and Mitchell, slowly whittling away at that penalty. And Mark just picked up another 3 seconds as well, so it's going to be very tough for Mark to get a lot of anything from this. Those penalties do add up. You've got to realistically get as close to BR4 at this point. Here comes Yalo on Mildy. He's going to make it. He's going to attempt at the very least to the long way round on Mildy. And he's going to get the better exit as well. He also should be the one with DRS. And it's going to be enough to carry him into the third corner with the position as well. And Yalo up to 5th. Will be up to 4th when penalties come in. So it's got to be a good day here for Yalo. The Haas, well, one of them makes up for the mistake of the other. Bambino not really on his day. Ishmael not being able to get past Sven. Sven putting on one stout defense to the moment of the guy on the to the Red Bull on soft tires. Still closing in on roughly the same pace as BR4, but not really able to do an awful lot when he gets close enough. 2.8 seconds situate him and between him and Yarlo. 6 seconds worth of penalties. Ake, Bolito and Rigo are going at it, and I think that's advantage Rigo there. That they go through the final corner. Mildy's binned it, and Mildy, what looked like he was going to have a good debut in Tier 1, has just been thrown painfully away as he drives into a wall on the final corner. He spat it in the second to last. He spat it in the last, and he is well and truly out of it now. Mark now 4 tenths of a second behind BR4. Just not being able to keep up in the corners. That 50-50 wing has helped BR4 out tremendously at the moment. It might carry BR4 ahead of Mitchell in this race as well. So it could be all BR4 needed here. Alu gets the fastest lap of the race so far. It won't mean anything though because he's in 13th. Mark's still going to fight it. And there's still people following behind that's still trying to get themselves in there, in for a fight. Maybe able to catch up to the back of Mark with the penalty. And it's now a second here between Yarlo and Sven. Mitchell, 3 tenths of a second. What the hell happened to Paulie Orange? Mitchell's just flown by, and well, he's up to first at the moment. He got it. He got it done by turn 1, so Paulie Orange must have had something go wrong there. It didn't look like he'd been troubled at all today, but is troubled now. He's certainly not first on the track. The championship leader had that. The 3-second penalty though is going to come back to bite Mitchell at the end of this. Certainly going to come no lower than third. Still Paulie Orange has to lose. But Mitchell now has to try and bridge a gap. Got 2 laps to do it. How quick can Mitchell go? That's just the real question here. Everyone at the back here in the midfield is still realistically tagged right onto the gearbox of everyone else in front. Just not really able to do an awful lot with it. Yellow flag in sector 2. Oh, he's behind. It's had Mildy again. His debut's gone from bad, well, from great to really poor in a matter of a lap. It's not really how he envisioned that one going. Yellow flag in sector 2 is Mildy as he drops to the back of the grid now. Well, back of the finisher at the very least, and that's the last thing he would have wanted. BR4 is closing his way in on Paulie Orange. Yellow flag in sector 2 is Mildy again, who just can't get his car fired back up. Sven doing enough to stay in the DRS of Yarlo, same point, doing enough to hold off Ishmael. BR4 doing enough to hold off Mark at the same point. We go into the second to last lap. Yellow flag in sector 2 and 3 is again. And Mildy has crashed 4 times in a lap. Not really able to do an awful lot here. On lap 34, 35 is Mitchell hasn't quite gained the gap he needs at the moment to BR4. Bearing in mind that's your championship battle, and Mildy is about to get lapped here by the leaders. You're about to see some blue flags. Never mind, he's going to crash again. Mildy has just had a lap to forget. Just a straight up a lap to forget from the second to last corner on the prior lap to now. There's just been spins galore. Don't know whether the tyres have gone or whatever happened, but it's not been pleasant. And, well, Mildy's out now. And, oh, wow, Rigo and Ishmael. And Rigo down the inside. He's done it. Maybe a switchback from Ishmael, but It looks like Riga's going to hold on. He does hold on, and Ishmael drops the position here down to 8th. Penalties are going to help him out eventually, but maybe Mark might be able to clear Yellow here. We've got one lap left of this race. We haven't even got one lap left of this race. The top 10 clear at the moment, and well, Mark has about a sector and a half to clear that 5-6 second gap on Yellow, otherwise he's going to lose at least one place. But here we go. Don't think Paulie Orange has had to push since he lost that lead of the race to Mitchell. And Mitchell's going to come over the line and come around the final corner and over the line to win on track. But the actual winner is neither the McLaren. Paulie Orange gets his second win in ALR, and quite frankly, deservedly so. Rather dominant day. It was a rather dominant day for Paulie Orange. Mitchell ever so slightly misses out on second place to BR4, and I think that might be championship level. I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure it's a 3-point gap between thing, and I'm pretty sure it's 18-15 when you come second and third, and I don't believe any of them's got the fastest lap, so I believe that makes them tied currently in the championship. Yalo gets 4th on a good day for him. Mark gets 5th, Swen gets 6th, Ishmael gets 7th after penalties. Ake Belito 8th, Rigo gets 9th, Jaguar comes home for the final point. That is a that was an eventful race after the safety car, I think. The safety car spruced it back up, especially the first one with Verminator, because the front of the race was done before that. They were pretty much away from each other. Had the incident that happened between BR4 and Ishmael, that'll be going to the stewards. But the McLaren is the McLaren day 1 on his debut here, and he's won again, so he might be able to put himself in for a fight later on in the season if he can continue this kind of form. That is how it ends. Good day for the, well, Dutchies. The one that won the day for sure, I think. Yarlo, Swen, big days for them. And not the greatest of days for people like Millsy, Bloodwave. Millsy had a good start, and well, he threw it all away with the last lap. Bambino also had a good start, but one mistake definitely ended any chances he had. Code never got a start, never got off the blocks. I think that means Monza will be a level championship. We're gonna be going. But yeah, that was very let's see if we can do interviews. Let's see if we can do interviews. Waiting to see. I don't think we are, so with that, I think don't think we're getting interviews for this, so oh, just volleyed my own Lucas A ball. How fun. But with that, I think I'm gonna end that there in a bit.